This video focuses on the Fourth Amendment, and the Fourth Amendment protects against the government unlawfully searching you or seizing your property. And basically what it establishes is that law enforcement, we've all seen a million police dramas on TV, have to get a warrant from a judge in order to search you or your stuff, right? You get this by going to a judge, you show some initial probable cause, and the judge determines whether or not they're legally going to issue a warrant that allows you to continue with the search. It's important to know that there is something called the exclusionary rule. So the exclusionary rule is that the prosecution that is trying to prove somebody's guilt cannot use evidence at trial that is deemed to be illegally obtained by law enforcement. It's excluded from the trial. So if you have a murder weapon with the suspect's fingerprints on it, but you didn't go about getting it the right way, the judge may say you can't use it at trial. Or if you interrogate somebody without informing them that they have a right to remain silent, the judge may not allow the testimony to be admitted at trial. So it kind of makes sure that the law enforcement and the prosecution are doing this the right way. The clip that you're going to see real quick is from a high-profile trial from several years ago involving a former New England Patriots player, Aaron Hernandez, who was accused of murder. And this talks about them trying to have evidence against him excluded at trial.
Now, an update on the murder investigation surrounding Aaron Hernandez. A judge is expected to hear a motion today by defense attorneys to suppress evidence in the Odin Lloyd murder trial. Let's get right over to Eyewitness News reporter Shantae Lands. She has the very latest.
Patrick and Danielle, Aaron Hernandez's motion to suppress evidence hearing will be held in Fall River. Now, in the past, his lawyers have asked the judge to throw out evidence because they say it was gathered during an unlawful police interrogation. The former New England Patriots tight end is awaiting trial in the 2013 shooting death of semi-pro football player Odin Lloyd. His lawyers have already asked Judge Susan Garsh to throw out much of the evidence. Lloyd's body was found in June of 2013, about a mile from Hernandez's North Attleboro home. At the time, Lloyd was dating Hernandez's fiance's sister. Hernandez has pleaded not guilty. This case is just the first of 3 murder charges he faces. He and his lawyers are also prepping for a double murder trial stemming from the shooting deaths of 2 men near a Boston nightclub in 2012. Now, Aaron Hernandez's hearing in the Odin Lloyd case will be held later today at Fall River Superior Court. Shantae Lands, Eyewitness News.
So it just gives a little bit of information on how sometimes lawyers can apply the exclusionary rule. And then this video real quickly is just going to focus on something that you might be more interested in, which is how the Fourth Amendment relates to you as a student in school.
Let's take a look at some examples, even right up to very recent past, of students using the Bill of Rights to stand up for their beliefs and impact their school districts and their lives. Think about the Fourth Amendment. That's the one that protects us against unreasonable searches and seizures. Now, when you think about the Fourth Amendment on TV, it's usually some cop drama where the police need a warrant to search a suspected criminal's house. But search and seizure issues and privacy rights also apply in the school districts. Where is the balance between our right to privacy and school districts' responsibility to keep us safe? Well, the Supreme Court determines that on a case-by-case basis. For example, in 2002, in the case Board of Education v. Earls, the Supreme Court said that the Pottawatomie County, Oklahoma school district's drug testing policy was legal. Everyone who wanted to participate in the district's extracurriculars had to submit to random urine tests for drugs. 2 students sued the school district, saying that the random tests were too intrusive and that checking for certain drugs didn't have any relevance for activities like academic team or show choir, and were therefore unconstitutional. The court ruled 5-4 that the school was looking out for the best interests of all of its students and allowed the policy to stand. So you might think that the Supreme Court is supporting schools' rights to search and test their students under any circumstances, but it's determined on a case-by-case basis. Just last year, in a case called Safford Unified School District v. Reading, the court ruled 8-1 that a 13-year-old girl's constitutional rights were violated when she was searched for pills at her school in Arizona. When Savannah Redding was accused of carrying some ibuprofen pills, which were banned in the school, administrators searched her backpack and her pockets. When nothing turned up, a school nurse took her to an office where she was told to shake out her bra and her underwear. The court ruled that the school violated her reasonable expectations of privacy, calling the search degrading. These are just two examples of the ways that students like you use the Constitution to define their freedoms. When we arm ourselves with our knowledge of the Constitution,